Bonjour tout le monde. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. My name is Zoe Royer, and I am the Member of Parliament for Port Moody, Coquitlam. And it is my great pleasure to be here with you as your MC for this very, very important announcement on this absolutely gorgeous day. And I'd like to begin by recognizing that we are gathered on the traditional and ancestral territory of the Stalo people. We honor and respect the Stalo Nation as the traditional stewards of this land. And we recognize their enduring connection to this territory. Thank you to the organizers of the Abbotsford International Air Show for such an exciting and informative event. And I also want to thank Cascade Aerospace for welcoming us all here today. And I'm pleased to welcome our very distinguished guests. The Honorable Stephen Fuhr, Secretary of State for Defense Procurement, Carlos Leitão, our Parliamentary Secretary for the Minister of Industry, the Honorable Ravi, Parmar, British Columbia's Minister of Forests, and Wayne Coulson, the CEO of Coulson Aviation, along with some other of my parliamentarian colleagues. We have MP Parmar and MP Gord-Johns. Thank you all for being here. Today's announcement is about looking ahead. Wildfire preparedness requires planning, partnership, and the ability to bring together public leadership and private sector expertise, as well as the right resources. And so far this year, Canada has experienced 4,200 wildfires across our country. And the urgency of this situation is very real and immediate. This is why our federal government has already invested $47.8 million to strengthen Parks Canada in our wildfire preparedness, including proactive measures to reduce risk and help protect communities. And this represents another important step towards strengthening the future of private sector aerial firefighting and emergency response. So without further ado, I'd like to get on with the good news of the day. It's my great honor to welcome my colleague and my friend, the Honorable Stephen Fuhr, Secretary of State for Defense Procurement. MP Fuhr.
Thank you, everybody. C'est un grand plaisir d'être ici avec vous aujourd'hui. I drove down from Kelowna yesterday. As you can imagine, there's a lot of firefighting activity going on in Kelowna. And I want to thank everybody up there that's doing what they can to make sure that we get this thing under control. On the way down, I was also reflecting about coming to this air show, and I realized that I had been coming here for 50 years. I started coming here in the 70s with my grandpa, who used to bring me here. He'd also take me to a place up near Kamloops called Skidam Flats, where we flew model airplanes. And when I was a toddler, I had a Fisher-Price airplane, looked like a Fokker 28 with engines on it. Some of you may know what that thing is. But I think these three things solidified me on the path that I was on, becoming a pilot, and I've been involved in aviation in many, many different ways for most of my life. And I keep coming back to this air show. I was here, as I said, with my grandfather. I went to flying school just down the street in Langley. I came here as a member of Parliament for Kelowna and chair of the National Defence Committee. And I'm here again as the Secretary of State for Defence Procurement with some unbelievable news that I want to share with you today. I think if you're looking at me, you see these airplanes beside us, and you can probably guess what we're about to talk about, but it is worth talking about, and I'm really, really proud to be here to do that. People often think of defense procurement as just about buying equipment, but it's much, much more than that. It's about managing the life cycle of that equipment. Every stage of that life cycle presents an opportunity to create value for Canadians. Of course, our first responsibility is to deliver capability to the Canadian Armed Forces. But whenever we can, we should be also creating opportunities for Canadian industry, Canadian workers, and good value for Canadian taxpayers. To achieve this, we're doing things a lot differently than we have been in the past. We're moving faster. I think we can safely say that's true. We're engaging with industry in a way that we hadn't in the past. I think that's very important. And we're making decisions at the speed that's required to meet the security challenges that we face today. That includes, where we can, ensuring valuable public assets continue delivering value long after their military service is ended. Today's announcement is an excellent example of that. Today, I'm very pleased to announce the conditional sale of 10 C-130H Hercules aircraft to Coulson Aviation for conversion into aerial firefighting aircraft. That is something to clap about. Coulson Aviation is a Canadian family-owned company headquartered in Port Alberni, British Columbia, just 100 nautical miles from here. For more than 60 years, they've grown into one of the world's premier aerial firefighting companies, supporting wildfire operations across North America, Australia, and South America. Their in-house engineering, aircraft modification, manufacturing, maintenance, flight operations have earned them a global reputation for innovation and excellence. They are exceptionally well positioned to give these Hercs a second career, protecting communities from wildfire. Why Coulson? Given the capabilities of these aircraft and the considerable service life remaining, there was significant interest in acquiring them. So a lot of other entities were looking at these airplanes. Offers for these aircraft were evaluated on a number of things, and I want to say what these are because I think it's important. The proposed end use, the alignment with the public interest, logistics, custodial cost efficiencies, compliance with applicable regulations, and the best overall value to Canada. That rigorous evaluation process led to the selection of Coulson Aviation. The conversion work, because this gets better, the conversion work will be led from Coulson's aviation facilities in Port Alberni, British Columbia. Each aircraft will require approximately 20,000 hours of labor to convert them into something like this, into something like that. As demand and production schedules require, Coulson expects to draw from the strength of British Columbia's aerospace sector, including long-standing industry partners such as Cascade, here in Abbotsford, the West Coast home of the C-130, and Kelowna Flightcraft up in the Okanagan. This project has the potential to supply highly skilled aerospace jobs across BC while helping deliver aircraft that are urgently needed for aerial firefighting. And that work is to complete these Hercs will begin, when the work's completed, these Hercs will begin a second life in that role, in a new role that's increasingly important to Canada and around the world. Now I've got my papers all over the place. They're stuck together, but I will persist. Today's announcement is more about just divesting of a surplus aircraft. It's about extending the value of an investment Canadians have already made. It's about supporting Canadian industry. It's about making smart use of public assets. And it's about ensuring that these remarkable aircraft continue to serve people for years to come. I want to give a special shout out and thanks to the public servants who made this happen. They did a fantastic job in doing the right thing. I know there was lots of interest in this, but I told you what the criteria were, and we absolutely made the right decision here, and we did it quickly. And I want to thank MP Gord Johns, the Member of Parliament for Courtenay Alberni. He made it very clear to us that this was in the best interest of his community, this province, and this country. Thank you, Gord.
Well, that really was incredibly good news. Thank you very much, Secretary of State Fuhr. Next up, I'm very pleased to invite another one of my colleagues, the Parliamentary Secretary for the Ministry of Industry, Mr. Carlo Leitão. MP Leitão, please.
I'm right behind you.
Merci, merci.
I'm right behind you. Bonjour tout le monde. C'est avec grand plaisir que je me trouve ici aujourd'hui. Ce que nous faisons ici aujourd'hui est extrêmement important pour plusieurs raisons. But before we get there, colleagues from the House of Commons, thank you for being here. I hope you are having a nice summer in the circumstances. I understand British Columbia is a little challenged these days with the forest fires. Minister, also we've had similar situations in Quebec just a couple of years ago, and so we understand exactly how you're feeling. Merci, thank you for welcoming Monsieur, Madame la sous-ministre. Merci aussi à vous d'être ici. So, why am I here? At the Ministry of Industry, the decision was made by the Government of Canada that we are going to invest massively in defense, and that's a good thing, and that's what we have to do, and that's what we are doing. Then from our end, we say, okay, great. So how do we maximize the economic benefits for Canada? That's when we came up with the defense industrial strategy. And in the back of our minds, we always have this issue, okay, how, we need to create jobs, but not just create jobs, long-term jobs. And in doing so, with all these investments, is to continue to promote innovation in the Canadian economy. We firmly believe that defense investing can be a powerful engine of growth for the Canadian economy. So that's our task on the industry side, and we've done a number of announcements like this, but not exactly like this. This is quite unique and quite necessary to give a new life to equipment that Canadian Armed Forces already had. So I've said all kinds of things that are not even in my speech, and that's usually what I do. But thank you very much for all of you for being here. Thank you, Secretary of State. Mr. Coulson, thank you very much as well. Your company is indeed one of the bright lights in the Canadian aerospace space. You just mentioned something when we were waiting out there. The mother of necessity can be a powerful tool for innovation, and then I'll let you talk about that. But it's I mean, what you do is incredible, and as you pointed out, just as we were over there, it is in all of this that we do. And I'll promise I'll end here. Never trust an economist who says you'll be brief, because economists won't be brief. But that in all that we're doing here, that the IP, the intellectual property, stays in Canada. That's also one of our major preoccupations. So thank you very much, and have a good day, and have a good show. Thank you.
Bravo. Thank you very much, Parliamentary Secretary Leitão. Merci, merci. All right, next, it is my great pleasure to welcome our Provincial Minister of Forests, Mr. Ravi Parmar, to share some remarks.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Minister.
Thank you very much. Good morning, bonjour tout le monde. Thank you very much, everyone. I want to thank the team here at Cascade, the hardworking Unifor workers, for welcoming us here this morning. My name is Ravi Parmar. I have the honor and pleasure of serving as British Columbia's Minister of Forests and the Minister responsible for the BC Wildfire Service. I certainly want to begin, as Secretary of State Fuhr acknowledged, as I know that his community is impacted by wildfires, certainly with the Bradley Creek fire over the course of the last weekend. My thoughts are with all British Columbians. I've just returned from Kamloops, British Columbia, from the Provincial Wildfire Coordination Centre. I had an opportunity to be in 100 Mile and Williams Lake yesterday, engaging directly with the evacuation centers for the Caribou Regional District, the Thompson-Nicola Regional District, and of course engaging directly with our local government leaders, First Nations, during what is arguably a very challenging period in British Columbia's history as we go through another challenging wildfire situation. Thank you very much, MP Royer. No doubt that we are going to face some many challenges ahead. I know that we are starting to see more evacuation alerts pop up with the Brunswick Creek fire along the Fraser Canyon not too far from here. But I want also British Columbians to know, because of the strong partnership we have with the federal government and our partnership right across the country, Parliamentary Secretary, we are so honored this year to be able to have 62 hard-working wildland firefighters from Quebec standing alongside us in our time of need. The Premier was here in Abbotsford welcoming over 200 wildland firefighters from Mexico. We had some Australians join us as well. When British Columbia has been in a position to support other jurisdictions, we put our hand up to be able to support them. And in our time of need, we're so honored to be able to have other partners. When I became the Minister of Forests and the Minister responsible for the BC Wildfire Service, one of the first people I called was my friend Wayne Coulson. Wayne is a bigger-than-life character, and what I learned very quickly is the Coulson name is gold, not just in Port Alberni, but right across British Columbia. I still get asked about the Martin. I know I was going to say it, Wayne, but still get asked about the Martin Mars every single time, every day throughout the fire season. But I hear loud and clear about the brand and the incredible workforce that Wayne has. When MP Johns and Wayne came to see me and said, what an incredible opportunity, I was happy to jump on board on behalf of the province of British Columbia to join in our advocacy. And I want to thank Gord, my friend from Port Alberni, for his outstanding advocacy on this project. And I want to thank the Secretary of State, who I had an opportunity to meet with in Ottawa quite some months ago to be able to make this pitch as well. The Coulson name is gold. The work that they do here in British Columbia with their Sikorsky night vision technology is game-changing for fires over the course of the last 2 years, and I know that it is going to bring a lot of comfort to British Columbians, to Canadians, and people around the world to know that there is going to be an opportunity for more Coulson planes to be flying throughout our country, throughout our world, fighting fires. So thank you on behalf of the province of British Columbia, Secretary of State, for your government, for this unique initiative that is going to lead for the opportunity for us to fight more fires here at home and around the world. Thanks very much.
Bravo. Thank you very much, Minister Parmar. All right, last but definitely not least, it is my great pleasure to invite Mr. Wayne Coulson, the CEO of Coulson Aviation, to share his remarks. Mr. Coulson, please.
Bravo. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is truly significant for our company and British Columbia and Canada's leadership in aerial firefighting. On behalf of everybody at Coulson Aviation, I want to express our sincere gratitude to the Government of Canada for its confidence to support the awarding of 10 recently retired C-130 Hercules aircraft from the Department of National Defense. The C-130 has earned a remarkable reputation around the world for its strength, reliability, and versatility. These aircraft have proudly served Canada for decades, and we are honored to give them a new mission protecting communities, forests, and critical infrastructure from wildfires growing throughout Canada. This investment represents far more than aircraft. It's an investment in the Canadian innovation, Canadian jobs, and Canadian leadership. It allows us to continue developing a world-class firefighting capabilities here in Canada while serving communities both home and around the globe. I would like to express my sincere appreciation to Secretary of State, the Honourable Stephen Fuhr. Your aviation experience, Stephen, your understanding of the Canadian aerospace business, the industry, and your continued support in strengthening Canada's capabilities in aerial firefighting have been invaluable. Thank you for your encouragement, your leadership and belief in Canadian companies and we can accomplish on the world stage. I would also like to extend my heartfelt thanks to our Member of Parliament, Gord Johns, with whose support and commitment has helped make this opportunity absolutely possible. I'd also like to recognize our Minister of Forests, Ravi Parmar. Minister Parmar, thank you for your leadership and your commitment to strengthening the wildfire preparedness in the province of British Columbia. We greatly value the province's partnership, and it's a shared vision for building a world leadership and response capabilities. To my family, to our employees, and to our partners, and to our customers, thank you for your dedication and belief of what we do. The milestone belongs to you. Together we will transform these legendary aircraft into the most advanced aerial firefighting platforms in the world, ensuring that they continue serving Canadians and communities around the globe for decades to come. Thank you very much.
right. Thank you very much, Mr. Coulson. It's very, very inspiring. Thank you. All right, we're coming to the very end of our program. And I just wanted to say merci à tous de votre présence aujourd'hui. We are all looking forward to watching Coulson Aviation transform this fleet of Hercules aircraft over the coming years. Lastly, Laurent Blanchard from the Secretary of State Fuhr's office will moderate the media Q&A. And I'll just ask that our guests remain for a photograph after. Laurent? Si.
Thank you, merci. Bonjour tout le monde, hello everyone. Pour la période de questions, si vous pouvez commencer par votre nom, votre média, et vous avez une question et une question complémentaire.
Because if there's technical, and you stand by.
You can have one
French.
question, one follow-up. Vous pouvez venir ici à la table, you can come to this table and grab the mic from me. Thank you, merci.
Steve Drinkwater, Canadian Aviator Magazine, and my question is, what is the dollar value of this contract?
Wayne, where are you?
Yeah.
You want to speak to that? It's a commercial situation, so I think it would be inappropriate that I speak, and I'll let Wayne talk about that if he chooses to talk about that. Express it any way you want.
It's a commercial transaction, so we've agreed in the sales agreement that we will not comment.
Chris Thatcher, Skies Magazine. One of the challenges for converting military to civilian use has always been the special certificate of airworthiness. Have you guys cleared that with Transport Canada in advance, or is that something still to be developed?
I'll let Wayne speak to that, but of course you identified a barrier, and my understanding is there is a path, and Coulson will be working with the regulator, but I'll let Wayne get into the specifics.
Thank you. Great question. We have cleared with with Transport Canada, and my son Britt, who's our Chief Operating Officer, it will be working on a pathway, and we have an expectation of 12 months that we'll see number one out for fighting fire here next season.
And where are these all coming from? Are they from a couple of squadrons, or are they right across the H fleet? And I guess related to that, how quickly do you get them into service?
My understanding is these 10 airplanes represent the rest of the fleet, and it will take a little bit of time. I mean, some will come sooner than others. I think in some of the things I read, on a best case timeline in 2027, we should see 2 airplanes converted and out the door doing the job. It's desperately needed. And then, as the other ones become available. But as you know, we don't want to hang on to these things any longer than we have to. They cost money just sitting there, right? So they're needed doing the firefighting role. We want to spend our money on things that we're using for the CAF. So everybody is pushing to get these airplanes moved from where they are now to the end user, which is Coulson.
All right, no more questions. I think that concludes the question period. I think we'll do the picture right there. The technicians will just remove all the equipment. So if I could just ask everyone to move over behind the podium. Thank you. Merci.
It's everybody. Yeah.
So we want everybody, yeah.
Should we grab the sign?
Everybody that was responsible. So everybody who had a piece to do with this, MPs, Deputy Minister,
Yeah.
Wendy, our public service friends who ran an amazing process to do the exact right thing, all of you please come up here and be in this picture with us.